Well, hello everyone. I'm back for another update. I'm at the top of Hog, Humpback Mountain in Virginia on the Appalachian Trail. I just went to Humpback Rocks. It was spectacular. I would have videoed there, but there was one other person there. But the rocks are not at the top. This is the summit of the mountain right here. And this is the Appalachian Trail, which pretty much goes right past the summit. Today is August 31st. As you can see, the white marker for the AT right there. So I am on the AT heading southbound for another couple more miles, where I'm going to be picked up by my girlfriend waiting at the next parking area along the Blue Ridge Parkway. So I have a little bit of time here to enjoy the trail. What I'm going to talk about is more about the weather that's been going on recently. I know that I had said it's going to be a hard time getting storms going in the Atlantic this year, and they are deceptively claiming it's been a very active season already, but it seems like it's been active because basically what they've been doing is, as I've described in my previous videos, every cloud mass that comes off Africa, they are firing energy at it, infrared or some sort of heat energy at these systems to try to get them over the threshold so they become hurricanes artificially, where they may not have developed naturally. So far they've been unsuccessful, at least in the open Atlantic, because there just simply isn't energy there. But they have managed to get a couple storms fired up this year. But it took a lot of energy to get them going. I watched these systems evolve. And if you watched my last video where I showed you what to look for, it's pretty obvious that, for example, Franklin was around Hispaniola. It was in the northern Caribbean, and they were firing energy, they couldn't get the motor to get going on that storm until it cleared Hispaniola and got north of there. My guess is there must have been the Gulf Stream current running up through there that was just enough warm water to get the motor going with that storm and get it going into a hurricane. Now they're claiming it became a Cat 5 or 4. It seems like every storm anymore that becomes a hurricane is automatically a Cat 5. I don't believe everything I hear from the National Weather Service or Hurricane Center anymore. They put stuff out there, who knows. With this latest storm, they claimed it was a Cat 3. This ice storm, I forgot how to pronounce it. They claim it was a Cat 3 on landfall. Yeah, Crystal River did get a storm surge. But that's because if you look at a map, you could see that the river comes right off the Gulf, aligned perfectly with the wind flow and surge from that system to create a funnel effect that amplified the surge considerably. Was it really a Cat 3 on Landfall, I highly doubt it. I watched the system on the images. They gave it a good shot of energy just offshore. That seemed to dissipate. As soon as it was making landfall, they gave it another shot of energy. Because the storm was already starting to weaken, even before it made landfall. National Hurricane Center isn't going to tell you all that. If it was a real Cat 3, damage would have been far worse. I know I keep echoing this. Currently, they even named another cloud mass, Jose, to the east of Franklin. It's just a propped up artificial disturbance. I've been watching it. They've been firing a constant stream of energy to that system to prop it up. But the rest of the Atlantic, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Yes, more disturbances ready to come off Africa. Yeah, they're trying to pump energy into these storms or disturbances. And there's even talk of one of them becoming a hurricane, even before it gets halfway across the Atlantic. We'll see. They're claiming that the oceans are record warm. Well then, they record warm. Why do they have to pump all this energy into these systems just to get them going? They're up to the letter J right now in the Atlantic because they've been naming pretty much every cloud mass that's formed, every disturbance, calling them a tropical storm. Maybe perhaps a thunderstorm in them might have gotten a 35-mile-an-hour wind. Boom, they call it a tropical storm. That's why they're up to the letter J in the Atlantic. In the Pacific, there's not really much going on. A couple of disturbances. We're at the peak of the hurricane season now. Tomorrow is September 1st. The rest of the Atlantic is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Yeah, you got the two storms. Both were manufactured on their own naturally. Probably neither storm would have happened. But it was like I was talking about in my last video. You shoot enough energy into these things and get them to spin, you got yourself a storm. They shoot this energy not only in the center of circulation, they also shoot it on the periphery so that the lift is enhanced, the outflow is enhanced, which gets the storm to spin faster. And then the National Hurricane Center labels these things major hurricanes when indeed the winds are not even hurricane force in them in actuality. They'll say it's a major hurricane. Who the hell knows the difference? You really think about it. National Hurricane Center calls it a major hurricane. 99% of the people out there are going to believe it really is. Why is this all happening? As I've said repeatedly, there's an agenda to fulfill. Of global warming, which means more hurricanes. Part of it, warmer oceans, more hurricanes, more destruction, more laws to be passed to restrict people even more. That's the bottom line underneath it all. Next week, the weather's going to be very warm over much of the U.S. All of this tampering creates artificial warmth in the atmosphere in the short term, because so much heat is taken, extra heat is taken out of that water that shouldn't be. It's released into the atmosphere. It creates a temporary condition of warming. I say it's temporary because everything that goes up must come down. So this is the Appalachian Trail. Again, southbound. It's only a day hike. I am training though for potential long distance hike in the future, hopefully maybe even as early as next year. I have in mind a southbound on the AT next year to kick off my retirement. So I have been, I went on a 30-mile bike ride last week. Following Trans-Virginia Trail, which is a trail that goes from DC to Damascus in Virginia and passes actually right by my house. So I traveled 30 miles of it last week. I am training for something next year. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you found this interesting. And I am speaking truth here. I'm speaking from a lifetime of study in meteorology that I've taught myself. My son still has not found a meteorology job. Unfortunately, he has taken a different job for now with selling solar panels, I guess. Not sure if he's ever really going to find a meteorology job. Hopefully he does eventually, because I know it's what he really wanted to do. So that is it for this video. I hope again you enjoyed this discussion.